This is activity 2 for lesson 3-4. So I'm going to walk through how to do these 4 problems. And if you actually flip your page over, you will see this. And these are the 4 different transformations that we are going to do. We're actually going to use patty paper for 2 of them, and we're going to use just our counting scales for the other 2. Okay, so the first one, if you take a look at figure 1, we are going to translate triangle ABC so that A goes to A prime. So this little apostrophe just adds what we would say, we call it prime, and A corresponds with A prime. And all we did was just slide A up and over. So how we're going to do this, we're going to use our pencils, and I'm actually going to use a different color so you're able to see the transformation. So, best way to do this, the easiest way, is we are going to look at A, and we're going to count how much did I go up and over to go from A to A prime. So if you count, I went up 2 units, and then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to the right. And that's how I went from A to A prime. So in order to keep this shape looking that exact same, we are going to have to do that for both B and C. We are going to do the same transformation where we're going to go up 2 units and 6 units to the right. So for B, I would go up 2 units and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to the right, plot a point, and I'm going to label it B prime with that apostrophe. And then the last one that I need to do is C, and I'm going to apply the exact same transformation. So I'm going to go up 2 units, and then I'm going to go 6 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plot that new point, label it C prime, and then I'm just going to connect my points. And there is triangle ABC translated to A prime's location. So all I did was I just slid it up and over and to get that new one. And the lines do not have to be perfect by any means. Okay? So then if we look at the next one for figure 2, it says in figure 2, translate. So translate, remember, just means to slide. Translate triangle ABC so that C goes to C prime. So now we're going from C to C prime. So to go from C to C prime, I went up 1 and 2 to the right. So I'm going to do the exact same thing again for both A and B. So for A, I'm going to go up 1, 2 to the right, plot a point, label it A prime. I'm going to go up 1 from B, 2 to the right, plot a point, label it B prime. And then again, I'm going to connect my points. And you should see that the triangle just slid kind of up and over. It is going to overlap, but that's totally fine, okay? So both of these were translations, which means I just slid. I did not do anything other than sliding. Then in figure 3, it says rotate triangle ABC 90 degrees counterclockwise using center O. So this is when we're actually going to take our patty paper, which is in your math geometry kit in the little baggie that we passed out. So where you are going to take patty paper, and what you're going to do is you are going to trace everything that is on figure 3. So you're going to trace point A and write A on your patty paper, trace B, patty paper, and C on patty paper, and then you're just going to connect the points. And try to draw heavy enough so that you can see those lines when you do that. Then you're also going to do O as well. And we are rotating around center O. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little mini grid around O. And I'll show you why here in a second. O is my center, so I'm going to plot my pencil down on O, which you can kind of see just like that. Okay, the pointer of your pencil. and you are rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. So counterclockwise means I'm going to turn the patty paper to the left, just like this. And you can see everything starts to rotate, okay? And we're going 90 degrees. So if you look at the patty paper, which we discussed in class, they are all 90-degree angles because it's corners. So you are going to turn this patty paper exactly one turn, which means that for this grid, you're just going to turn it one time and line it back up on that next grid. And as you can see, that triangle now rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. It went backwards from the ways of a hand, okay? So we are now going to just have to trace this underneath the patty paper. So sometimes you're able to just see like C went 2 units to the right. So I'm going to just kind of take this off and plot C went 2 units there and plot it as C prime. Then I line it back up. I see that B went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to the right. So then I'm going to, again, move it, count 6 units, and there's B prime. And then A, when I line everything back up, A is down here. So you could just go from B, this is what I would do, A and B, it's 2 units down and 1 to the left. So I go from B, 2 units down and 1 to the left. That's just another way to do that. And then you're going to just outline yet again. And you will see that your triangle was rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise around center O. And then the last one that we are going to do is a reflection. So when you think about a reflection, it just is really like a mirror. So the last one says reflect triangle ABC across line L, which is my line of reflection. So I'm going to do almost the same thing. I'm going to line up my patty paper. I'm going to trace A, B, and C. I'm going to outline my triangle. And then if you see your line of reflection, you need to trace your line of reflection as well. You don't need to trace line L. You don't need to do that, but you do need to trace the line of reflection. Because all we are going to do to get the reflection is literally flip your paper, your patty paper, over like you were reading a book, line your line of reflection up with the original, and make sure that your C and C are still on that same grid line. And now you can see that that triangle literally just is a mirrored copy on the opposite side, okay? So what you can do, point C was 1 unit away from the line of reflection. So that means that on this new one, point C is going to be 1 line or 1 square away from that line of reflection. A was from the line of reflection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Yeah, 5 units. So you're going to go right here and count 5 units and plot A prime. And then B was 1, 2, 3 units from the line. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3 units and do B prime. And then you can connect your dots. And there you have a line of reflection being used to reflect triangle ABC to the exact opposite side. So hopefully you were able to follow along with those. If you want, you go back and watch because we are going to, for the next activity, we are going to be using a different type of grid, but we are going to be doing similar transformations. So if you need to, go back and watch. If not, you may continue on with activity 3.